Which of Skyrim spouses is the most gooner bait? Now, if you join this video thinking this is a video about which of Skyrim spouses is the hottest, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. This is not a video about which of Skyrim spouses is the most easy to goon to. It's instead a video about which of Skyrim spouses is the most safe from gooners. You see, goonerism is a blight on healthy relationships, and these gooners don't really seem to get. It's not really clocking for them that they are ruining any chances they have at both getting into heaven and getting any bitches. Okay, and that's not to say that these gooners are a plague. It's unavoidable. You can't do nothing about. Hell no, brother. Oftentimes, you know, people with bad intentions just straight up tell you what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like Hitler wrote Mein Kampf. Henry Kissinger fucking gave speeches. Fucking Aubrey Graham just put out his latest tour dates, brother. You know what I'm saying? So check that. Consider this a PSA. Check that. See if he's gonna be in your city anytime soon. And if you got kids, make sure you and the youngins are out of town when that pedophile comes by. But with that, I digress. So defending oneself from gooners is often very easy to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? What about the gooners who just don't know that they're gooners yet? What about them? That's what I want to talk about in today's video. I want to show all you goon caps out there exactly the hard, honest truth that you refuse to ignore, that you continue to ignore. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. Okay? I want you to recognize that your favorite Skyrim GF is actually a victim. And how? With that established, let's get right into it. We're gonna start at the bottom of the list with the people who find themselves the most susceptible to the modern gooner. All the way at the bottom of the list, +5. Okay, that's fifth from the bottom if you're bad at math. Okay, all the way at the bottom of the list, +5. We got Ayla the Huntress. Oh yeah, I already know a bunch of you fucking goonballs with bad intentions are out here cheering in your rooms. But don't get it twisted, Ayla ain't no easy pickings. Ayla here suffers from a lack of respect for those around her. Her ideas of what's best for people cloud her judgment and make her arrogant, and as such, she lacks a couple of things that us mentally healthy people use, like myself, mentally healthy people like myself, use to help guide us through the gooner minefield, you understand? And as such, given a very specific set of circumstances, there may be a few gooners capable of getting through the simple but effective defenses of a woman with self-respect. Doctor, what are these circumstances, you might ask? Well, first off, calm down. I can hear you fucking salivating and getting your fucking finger cheese-crusted mouth dirtier through my goddamn monitor, alright? Hold on, I'll tell you. But as I said, it's not exactly suitable for your average gooner, okay? Now there's a few stipulations. I'm gonna run down them. You just keep in your head, you keep a mental tack about which ones you fit, okay? First up, can you fight? If no, note it. Number 2, can you have a conversation with the woman for more than a few sentences? If no, make sure you're following, okay? Make sure you're following, okay? Number 3, are you conventionally attractive? If you've said no to any of the above, get the fuck out of here. Why? Don't even waste my time, okay? If you've said yes to all 3, then congratulations, you have now met the basic requirements to threaten Ayla the Huntress with a bad time. But remember, these are basic requirements, okay? It's not that she's incapable of being gooner bait. It's just that the minimal barrier of self-respect still finds itself king of defense against the petty offensive stratagems of the lonely gooning individual. And it's for these reasons that she finds herself a fifth from the bottom. If you marry her, it's not exactly altogether 100% you're a bad person and a victimizing goonball, okay? It could be, you know, you're alright, but you gotta watch yourself. You're towing the line, okay? She gets fifth from the bottom, and you better watch yourself. That's the final verdict. Moving on. Second up, we have Octave Sam, which I think is how you say his name. I don't know. And you might not have known that this fucking skin bag was even a spousal option to begin with. And that's one of the reasons why he's so high up on this damn list. Because fourth from the bottom might be a little bit too much for a man in the debt of both gambling and drink, okay? Do you want to know? Let me ask you a question. Do you want to know how you get to marry this fucking sleazy piece of shit? Let me ask you. I already asked you. Let me tell you. I'll tell you, okay? You get the honor of paying away his debts. That's right. If you want to marry this guy, the only way you can get a piece of that ass, that wrinkly fucking ass, is if you pay his debts. I don't know if I need to elaborate, but I will for the slow ones in the back. That's fucking weird. If the first thing you got to do is pay to enter before you can marry, that's weird, okay? And that's a hell of a weakness, I gotta be honest with you. But the only thing is, If he was like 10 years younger, I think he would have already been done. The only reason he even gets this high up is because none of you fuckers knew he was a spousal option to begin with. He's got way too many weaknesses for a young gooner out here to exploit. I think his only strength besides, the wisdom of age is that he doesn't really seem to be a sexual freak master in his own right. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll give him a little leeway. But if you marry this guy, shame on you. For shame. You should be able to look in the mirror and understand what a predator you are, okay? But congratulations to Octave Sam for getting fourth on the list. Fourth from the bottom on the list. But it's still fourth in some way. You gotta change your perspective. Moving on to the third from the bottom. But first, let me ask you a question. Which of these two individuals is the most vulnerable? You don't know nothing about them. Just what they look like as presented here. Which of these two here do you think would be the most vulnerable? If you said the one on the right, what are you doing? Why are you lying to me? Hey, if you can't be honest with yourself, how are you gonna be honest with your fucking ancestors? How you gonna look your ancestors in the eyes and tell them why the fucking family dog doesn't like coming in your room at night no more? Why the family dog looks your fucking mother in the face every day at dinner with this silent begging, pleading to please end my suffering? Why do you keep asking for the banana pills to be saved, Jimmy? Why are we running out of rubber bands, Jimmy? Where are the rubber bands? It's the homeless person on the left, obviously. That's the most vulnerable person. Now imagine if these two people were instead the representations of a person's mental state. Well, clearly the person on the left would be more vulnerable and would be in a perpetually more vulnerable state for as long as they continue to exist in that state. Yes, this is very scientific. Enter Uthgerd the Unbroken. No, just Uthgerd. I didn't call for you, did I? Jesus, get out of here. What's up with him? Uthgerd here is a person much like the person on the left, except the issue is that's only her on the inside. So a lot of people might not be able to recognize that Uthgerd here is actually in a very vulnerable state. In comes the average gooner. You see, that's called a cue, brother. I called you, you walked in. You remember how I called Uthgerd and she walked in? Yeah, I call you, you walk in. It's a fuck. Okay. The average gooner here is incapable of looking past themselves. I personally have a theory. I think it's because it's due to the long days spent standing at their blindingly bright monitor long into the night, fucking silently begging for the fake AI girlfriend on their screen to tell them that they ain't wasting their life away and mean it. But I guess that's just the theory for now. Uthgerd here is what these gooners would refer to as Dami Mommy. And you might say, Doctor, hey doctor, I say that all the time and I'm not a gooner. A person suffering under the doctrines of goonership may find Uthgerd here an easy person to manipulate, easy pickings one might say, especially when you consider that the way to prove yourself to her is by proving the strength in your right arm, you know what I'm saying? And it's for this reason that she finds herself at the third from the bottom. She's not entirely defenseless, but what defenses she does have are easy enough to exploit for a gooner worth their weight in protein discharge, you know what I'm saying? That one was kind of gross, okay. But with that being said, let's move on to our penultimate loser, our penultimate fuckboy. Introducing Odfell. Or Oddfell. I don't know. I'm gonna call him Odfell though, because I don't feel like he deserves the respect of having his name pronounced correctly. What can I say about Odfell? Let's see. Well, Odfell is, he's pushy. Doesn't really understand the meaning of no. Constantly harasses his coworkers for something completely unrelated and inappropriate to their work. I mean, shit, is this starting to fucking sound familiar yet? I'm not fucking done. It's pissing me off, alright? This motherfucker, he's got all the signs, okay? He's got a suspiciously smooth right palm for one, and I don't like that. But another thing is, he's got this fucking longing quiver of unwanted and unreciprocated eye contact. It's just fucking begging to be seen, but refusing to initiate a conversation except to beg for a crumb of pussy. I mean, fuck this guy. I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. And if I could go on if I wanted to, but I'll stop there. If this guy ain't a gooner yet, he's fucking soon to be one, alright? Fucking hell. And what finds itself more susceptible? I got a piece of something stuck to my foot. Get off me. What's wrong with you? And what finds itself more susceptible to the guiles of the guily gooner than another guily gooner? I feel like if Odfell found himself the latest obsession to your local incel, he'd be about as easy as a mark as that incel would be happy to obtain. You know what I'm saying? I think it's this kindred susceptibility is what put Odfell second to last place. Second place from last place, some would say. I think just because you're exploiting another one of your own kind, it don't mean that you're not exploiting them, you know what I'm saying? But as easy of a mark that a gooner is to another gooner, there's still one more relationship which finds itself more susceptible to abuse, which is why Odfell is only second to last. Whoa. Now that was an interesting thing to have crawling on me. Allow me to shed some light on our finalists. That's right, it's the housecarls. If you've ever forced these housecarls to marry you, you're a gooner. And a really bad one at that. Let me fucking talk to you, okay? Imagine a world. I need you to imagine a world for me, okay? Imagine a world where a fucking person swears an oath to follow all the orders of a person, to follow their will for the good of their people. They do this. And then the first thing you do with that is convince yourself they would just love to marry you. I mean, are you off your fucking mind? Are you out of your fucking gourd? I just thump you in your fucking forehead doing this stupid shit. What's wrong with you, man? Have you ever even listened to the dialogue that Lydia says? Have you ever even given a little fucking tinkle of paying attention to this motherfucker? Where in the innumerable times that she fucking drops that classic line of hers does it come off that she's itching for a piece of the old Dovahkiin? Like, that the only thing she wants is a wing off the old bone. I mean, she drops this line every 3 seconds like it's a fucking sack of marbles in a Home Alone movie, brother. In this simile, you're the burglar, except you're not fucking Joe Pesci. You're just a weirdo, okay? Don't marry your housecarls. They're there to protect you from like draugrs and scoliosis and shit, not to fucking lay under you while you try and convince yourself this is about more than you just wanting to feel loved and appreciated by another human being. Housecarls, and all housecarls for that matter, are the most susceptible people to gooners, and I'll tell you why. It's because it doesn't matter what they think, okay? It doesn't matter what they think. They swore an oath. They swore an oath to protect you, to follow your will for the good of their people. So the choices are this: either become a filthy fucking oath breaker, or marry the loser they just happen to roll bad RNG on. I mean, what a choice that is. What a beautiful thing to foist on somebody. I swear to God, if I catch any of you fucking weirdos marrying a goddamn housecarl, I will thump you across your fucking forehead with this spoon I got going on in my hand right now that I'm using to emphasize my points that you can't see, but just know it's in my motherfucking hand. I'll whoop your ass with this damn spoon if I catch you marrying Lydia or any of the other ones that I don't know the name of off the top of my head, because who the fuck would? Moving on, okay? You didn't gotta be heated, and you're an imaginary person in this. Moving on, goddamn it. We're going on to the honorable mentions. I'm already pissed off. Let's get this shit going. I don't give a fuck, alright? I had a whole thing laid out. I was going to say something sexy and sweet. I was going to say, before we get into the list, it was a little joke I cooked up. Fuck that goddamn joke. You know, fuck you. Alright, god damn it. I swear to God. First up in the honorable mentions is Mercurio. If you like Mercurio, fuck you, alright? This guy is a narcissist. And narcissism is damn near the same shit as goonerism. It's kind of like a natural sibling, if you will. Okay, I'll explain it to you. Gooners have to try to convince themselves that they are this idealized versions of themselves, right? But narcissists just believe that they are that person. So it's kind of like the same weakness, if you want, just a different way to go about it. And this is kind of really how I feel about it. I think if Adonis, right, had managed to look up from his mirror in the lake, but was instead greeted by the big old gems of a fucking gooner staring back at him, it would have been no different from continuing to stare in a fucking lake. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's basically the same shit. Because gooners, and there's like some type of analogy going on here. I don't really know it. But Mercurio is lame and his soul patch is stupid. And if you're a narcissist, just know that is an easy exploit for a gooner to take, okay? Honorable mention number 1, okay? Honorable mention number 2. We got a Mur all the way in Windhelm by the name of Reverend Sadri. My bad, brother. I almost mispronounced your name. Any man, the reason why he's in this honorable mention is because he is a man of his community. Okay. Oh shit, my bad. He is a Mur of his community, and any Mur who takes an active role in his community understands the importance of self-respect. This is not an individual who would fall to the dangers of gooning. And any FBI report that tells you otherwise, they're lying to you because they don't like melanin. Okay, that's the second honorable mention. Number 2 honorable number 3 honorable mention. We got the homie, the main man, Rogi Knotbeard. I think that's how you say his name. If not, I deeply apologize, because homie, if anybody deserves to have their name pronounced, they're probably at the closer to the top, but still this guy as well. You might be asking me, why is he in the honorable mentions? Stupid thing to ask me. I'm clearly going to talk about it anyways. The reason, among other things, is that he's constantly making sure that individuals in his community are feeling safe and proper and able to do their job. He goes to this. There's a female mage. He works in the mine. You feel me? He goes to this female mage in the mine who takes care of like gases for with vents and stuff. And he's like, yo, if any of these weirdos come at you stupid, send them my way. I'll deal with it. And it's not even like he's doing it for like, hey, brother, if you send me 2 toe pics, you know, I might be able to take care of that for you. No, it's not even on some weird shit. He just, no reward mentioned. He's like, brother, talk to me. If they talk to you stupid, I'll sort them out. Then, check this out. This is how I know it's for true. He goes to his boss. His boss is on some stupid shit. His boss is one of them people that love to talk about how bad they are. They'll tell you straight to your face they're cheating on their wife. This stupid motherfucker. I wish you would. I slapped the dog shit out of you, brother. You better have some self-respect. Have some fucking respect for your damn wife. But anyways, Rogie Knotbeard here. His boss comes up to him on some stupid shit. He's like, yeah, I'm about to take another trip to Windhelm. Rogie looks him dead in his face and like, what for? I don't think your wife would like that. His boss says, I don't think it's any of your business. But the fact of the matter is, Rogie Knotbeard risked the bread, and I think any man risking the bread to tell another person and check another person on the things that bring dishonor to oneself, I think they're less prone to fall into those same illnesses. Simple as, unless they're a politician. But Rogie ain't no politician. He's a man of mining and mead. You feel me? That's the honorable mention. Let's move on to the last one. The last honorable mention goes to anybody who is in contact with a person and doesn't immediately assume that they need to give it up just because that person was being nice to them. And this ain't just aimed at the men out there, okay? If there was any women in this game doing it too, they get the same fucking look eye. It just so happens you can't really marry any gooners in this game, or female gooners in this game. You can marry some gooners. We already talked about a few of them. Hands up in the air if you've done that. Okay, my hand wasn't up just then. I'll just let you know that for free. I am lying to you. I've married Uthgard so many times, but I'm a changed man. I learned from my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have a conversation first, and we can't do that in Skyrim. We gotta be better, brothers. We have got to be strong, brothers. What am I talking about? Right. That's the last honorable mention. Moving on. Oh my God, I'm having a great time. Moving into the top 5 Skyrim spouses of the week. That's a reference to something. I'm not doing this every week. If I was doing this every week, I would have run out of content today. I would not have a single person more to talk about. I've already gone through all of them. There's 80 of them and 10 of them have personality. The rest of them are just fucking blank slates with orifices and whatnot. But anyways, this top 5 list, the people in the top 5, these are the type of people that if you come at them weird on some weird shit, you will either end up in an SAA meeting or getting your ass whooped. That shit, maybe both, brother. Maybe both. Hopefully both. Let's start with the 5th from the top, all right? Just because they 5th from the top, just because they ain't podium, don't mean they ain't a real one. The 5th from the top is a brother by the name of Gat Gro Shargak, and hopefully I said his name right, but because again, he deserves it. And this individual here, if you're not familiar, is one of 2 survivors on the raid on Kolskegger Mine, which is a mine in the Reach. Alright, and for why he's placed so high on this list, well, it actually kind of has to do a little bit more with the orc stronghold that he comes from. The orc stronghold. Smell that air. Beautiful. Many a young gooner, fresh out from the cave, has pined and fantasized about what goes on in the orc stronghold and what it would be like to be an orc chieftain, you feel me? And for the uninitiated, the orc strongholds practice a little something called heroism, and far be it from the lonely gooner to understand the deep and respectful religious restraints required to practice such a thing. No. All they see is several people being sexually subservient to one individual, and they go fucking cuckoo bananas for goddamn Cocoa Puffs, alright? These fucking... I gotta hold it back. I gotta stick to the script here. I can't go off the rails again, or this is gonna take me forever. These fucking losers, okay? Their pinhole processing brains can't see nothing else but that. All right, they see many holes. All right. Which brings us back to the Murray question. There was a point in time when Gat lived in the stronghold. He no longer does. And his homeboy, the other survivor of that raid that I mentioned, asked him at one point, why wouldn't you want to go back and live at the orc stronghold? See, Pavo needs to be looked at. Study his hard drives, because we might find some shit about Pavo. But he was strong. He was brave enough to ask the question, because there was homies I think Gat let him slide, and that's fine. But anyways, what did Gat say to this response? Because I think I have a lot of ideas about what some gooners would say about the prospect of living in an orc stronghold. Let's see what Gat had to say about it.
Did you ever want to return to your stronghold? Go back to your family?
I would need to challenge the chief and take his head to return home. I'd rather stay here.
Don't tell me you, of all people, are afraid of a battle.
If you had to kill your own brother to be allowed back home, you'd think twice as well.
Ooh, Ooh, I mean, I don't really know if I need to say anything else about that, but just in case I do, this man is not gooner pilled in the slightest. This is not an individual who's in any danger of any goon around the way. And if you find yourself mighty interested on what goes on in the York Stronghold and you're thinking like it's a perfect idea to come up to Get on a regular Morndos morning and ask him some stupid fucking questions, well, good luck with that. In fact, knock yourself out. And if you don't, then he will. You know what I'm saying? Come on. All right. Regardless of whatever the fuck else, that bar alone gets him 5th place. But I feel like he's kind of, respectfully, he's held it down with the rest of the other shit. Now, moving on. We spoke earlier on the concept of manipulating a person suffering under mental trauma. That person that we were discussing about was named Uthgerd the Unbroken. The Unbroken is a moniker. It's not her last name, in case you were confused. And there are a lot of people who find that Uthgerd the Unbroken and Mjol the Lioness, also a moniker, are very similar as people. These people are called gooners. You see, the gooner's mindset focuses not on what qualities actually make up a person, but really just focus on what qualities they themselves have identified as fetishes, and that's nothing, and that's it. There's nothing more. When a person comes by who seems to check the fucking boxes, well, that's all they needed to see, you feel me? And this leads to this idea that Mjol and Uthgerd are very similar as people, when in fact, they couldn't really be much different. Really, all they got in common is that they're both Nord females in armor who fight with two-handed weapons and are rather outwardly confident. Mjol has a healthy relationship with somebody, something Uthgerd does not. In fact, Mjol has a healthy relationship with a person of the same sex she happens to be attracted to, at least one of them, because you know if you're that same sex, you could marry Mjol, so we know that she's attracted to that sex. And personally, I think any person capable of having a healthy platonic relationship of the same sex or one of the same sexes that they are attracted to is not a person who's gonna be done in by a dude whose only goal in life is to get one off. You know what I'm saying? To whack one out on the riff. But I'll tell you what, if you think I'm wrong about Mjol the Lioness, how about this? Approach her and ask her some stupid gooner shit if you want to, alright? And you'll see exactly what happens when your entire fucking way of life, your entire way of perceiving people is through the fucking crusty lens of a fucked up monitor and a fucking 2-liter bottle of Jergens cocoa butter. Now, for the first podium finisher, we head on over to the town of Morthal to congratulate a man named Benor. Some of you might be a little bit upset to find Benor so high on this list, so defensively tucked behind his walls, so safe from deviancy. Some of you probably don't give a shit at all, actually. For those straight male gooners out there who are a little bit confused, let me provide a little bit of a perspective on this for you, okay? Benor here is the straight female gooner equivalent to Mjol the Lioness. I mean, come on, he's a warrior. He's a warrior in heavy armor. He's a man with moral and self-respect, and I think that's very important. And why do I think this? Well, firstly, let me introduce you to an individual by the name of Alva. She's also a resident of Morthal, and more particularly, she's also a filthy fucking vampire. And throughout her time on this earth, she found it all too enjoyable sneaking into houses of married men and seducing them and convincing them to, let's say, leave their wives. And what was it exactly that she seduced them with? Well, it was all for the promise of a crumb of ass. A measly crumb of ass. Excuse me. And Alva even attempted to do the same to good old Benor over here. And do you want to know what Benor had to say about that? Do you really want to know what his response was? Let's take a look.
I'm bored, Benor. Nobody wants to have any fun with me.
If you leave that kinslayer Hrogar, I would be happy to keep your company.
Hrogar doesn't have to know if we sit together or drink together. I doubt he would even care.
You tempt me mightily, Alpha, but I wouldn't cuckold another man, even a murderer like Hrogar.
Ooh, this man, under vampiric level powers of seduction, told Alva to go fuck herself. I mean, goddamn, you gooners don't stand a chance. This man has morals. This man has self-respect, okay? Some of you might come up to me and say, hey, doctor, he only turned her down because she was married. Really? Really?
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
You see, this is why goonerism is a mental health issue. Allow me to elaborate, my misguided brother. You see, Benur recognized an immoral situation happening and said, I will not participate against the powers of a vampire, okay? Against the powers of a vampire, he said that. And he said, I will not participate. I don't want none of this heathenistic behavior. If you were to come up to Benur on some weird Gunner-fied shit, he would take one look at you in the mug and tell you up and down something ain't right in the head. Something going on in that head of yours, which is immorally sound, okay? He would tell you to go kick rocks and probably seek help, shit, and he'd be right to. Benur is not a man for the streets. He is a man of principle, and Benur gets podium for that. Benur gets that's third place. Congratulations, Benur. And any person who resists a vampire, ain't it no danger to a damn Gunner, brother? Let me tell you that shit for free. Benor's safe. Benor's safe. Yeah. 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 Oh, shit. I'm out of breath. Okay. Here you go, little Timmy. You're gonna need this for this next part. Our second place finisher, Serana, is the daughter to rape god servant Harkin Volokar. And she's the second most safe person from the dangers of the Gunner. But that's not as important as... What the?
What was that, Doctor?
Oh, little Timmy, that was, those were all the tears of all the Gooners who refused to see the truth, who refused to admit that Serana wasn't the thick vampire goth mommy GF they were hoping she was. This is the result, and you must never become like them, Timmy. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
No, you must promise me, Timmy. Say it.
I promise?
Good. Let's wait this out here. Don't worry, I'll protect you from the big bad booger gooner.
That's the booger gooner.
Heads up, the boss said that I needed to pass this message to you. He didn't really say what was on it or whatever. He just said you needed to read it, so... Give me that, bitch. Haha, fuck. Haha, get fucked. And the gold medalist, the #1, first place in the world. Nobody but Onwin. Onwin is the first place winner. Congratulations, Onwin. I need to see some congratulations in the chat for Onwin. This is not a live stream. What the fuck am I talking about? Onwin is a priestess of Debella. And there's I know, I can sniff you fuckers out. I know there's a couple of you thinking in the goddamn comments, wait, hold on a second. Isn't she the sex lady? Doesn't that mean that she would be more susceptible to Goonerism, Doctor? I swear to God, why I oughta fucking thump you. But I won't. Instead, I got just the thing for you. I got a timestamp for you. Go to this timestamp right here, and it'll answer your stupid fucking question. Now, Debella is the goddess of such teachings as treasure friendship, and quality over quantity, and no matter the seed, if not the shoot is nurtured with love, will not the flower be beautiful? Which is kind of like saying it's the intention which matters. And whose intention is better than the goddamn priestess of the goddess whose teaching is to fucking cherish the relationships with your fellow man, huh? The basic gooner whose temporary fulfillment focuses on simple self-sadism and not the gracefulness with which true love is practiced, will find no kinship with the priestess of Debella. They won't find no ass here. The best they could hope for is a well-padded therapy session, brother, and one very much needed. And who better to give it, honestly? Onwin takes first place, and anybody who is a priestess of a sex goddess, you fucking loser, it will also be first place. You know what I'm saying? If you want a fucking sword made, you go to a smith, the motherfucker who practiced smithing, making swords and shit. If you want to know how to fucking cherish yourself and love your fucking fellow neighbor, you go to the motherfucker who practices this shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. First place. And that's our podium finishers, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think of my reasonings, if I improperly misjudge somebody. Not like it'll change the rankings or anything, but you know, I still kind of know what you guys want to think. Some of you, at least. Some of you motherfuckers I know are just gonna be straight up weirdos, but that's all right. I'm opening myself up to make fun of you just for this. I also want to give a little shout out to where I got the idea for this, which is actually my live stream chat. And this isn't just like a simple shout out to my live stream, although it kind of is that too. But also, my very first live stream ever, I came out of that live stream with 2 ideas for new videos, and this was one of them. So, whatever you're thinking that says about the live stream chat, you're probably correct. Now that that's over with, let me ask you a question. Are you able to tell the difference between the people at the bottom and the people at the top? They're only separated by one thing. I mean, come on. What is that thing, huh? Well, I know the answer. I made the fucking video, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna tell you. I want you to have a think about it. You don't even have to comment. This ain't some comment bait. I'm being genuine with you here. You just have a think about it. Try to figure it out. What's the thing that separates the men at the top, or we'll say the people at the top and the people at the bottom? You feel me? But I ain't so high strung, ain't so cheapskate that I won't be so magnanimous, that I won't be so generous and leave you all a hint, okay? But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.